With that being said, let's move on and transition into the next thing. Let's talk about how we got here, how we got to being so addicted on foods. And let's talk about some of the simple tips that will help us come out of it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but this will be something that you have the ability to retain, to remember. And when you stop saying, I'm just not ready, then you'll be able to use it and apply it to your everyday life. Number one, first of all, let's talk about how we got here. How we got here. Okay, first of all, it's the ingredients in food, the additives and the things that we've always been talking about on these shows that they include in foods that we're eating today. You know, ingredients in purified or modern food causes us to eat unconsciously and unnecessarily. Don't you just sometimes, you know, when you're at home and you just ate, and then like, what, 15 minutes later, and you're thinking, what, 2 hours have passed? And 2 hours hadn't passed. Let's just keep it real. You are already hungry again, and you're going to get something else to eat. Well, you're really not hungry again. Your mind or something in your brain is saying, go eat again. We all have been there, including me. And so it's the things that are contaminated in our foods that are causing us to eat unconsciously and unnecessarily. Just think about it. And when we then eat like a drug user, okay? I mean, you would just think we're coming down off a high and we're trying to get something to eat. Or we are high and we're still trying to maintain that feeling that we're coming down off of. Number two, busy lifestyles gave us a legitimate reason to eat out all the time. So we stopped paying attention. Okay, we got busy some kind of way. We're trying to keep up with life. Whether you're a single mother, whether you're a family, whoever you are, life got busy for everyone. Everyone I know, including myself, everyone I know. When you talk to them, oh, I'm just so busy. Now, you either telling me that or you really are busy, or you really are busy. But some kind of way, life got real busy, and what we found ourselves doing is just trying to keep up. In the interim of it all, we just stopped paying attention. Number three, bad habits from our childhood caught up with us. We walked around, you know, as kids, and everything was all good, right? Because we had that fine shape, you know, we were shaped like whatever you enjoyed, you know, about yourself, and you were okay with it. But at the same time, our lifestyles were different, and eventually over time, it caught up with us. It caught up with you. It could have caught up with me, but I made some different decisions. It catches up with us. Over time, it will catch you. You will slow down. And as they say, oh, the fat lady will sing. And it's not just about the way you look. It's about how you feel about yourself. All right? Number four, life challenges. Just life. Just life got us. Can you relate to that? If you think about it. Which one of the things that we just mentioned, or how many out of the four did I just mention that you actually can attest to and say, that happened to me? It happens. Why? We just stop paying attention. Now that we've identified how we got here, let's talk about some of the simple, healthy tips that I want to share with you that you can just begin implementing into your life every day. Number one, start back buying groceries. Let's try assessing how many times you cook at home and how many times you eat out. If you fail to plan, you plan to what? Fail. So start back buying groceries. Start back buying the things so when you come in the house and you're starving, that you are not just going to all of a sudden begin gorging on things that are just not so healthy for you. Or if you decide to go out to eat and you think about if you're going out to eat more often than you're staying in at home, you are lacking control over the types of foods that you're eating. We just talked about dopamine, and we talked about how one of the reasons as to why this is happening to us is that it's the food, the contamination of things that are in the food. So if you start assessing and saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to make a commitment and I'm going to cook. I eat out four days out of the week. You know what? For now, I'm going to start, even if it's just with one. Start with one. You don't have to leap way out there, especially if you are not that person that has, been in the kitchen. Just start addressing it as sooner rather than later. Number 2, take your lunch to work. You move all around everything else, and the only thing that you don't do, which is a big component as to why we are where we are, is that you don't take time to think about what you're going to eat through your day while you're at work. So as soon as you get to work, what do? As soon as that time comes and you're hungry, now you're hungry. It's the same method as to going into the grocery store when you're hungry and you start getting foods that you just are like, ooh, this would be good. And you're not actually thinking logically. So when you get into a position at work, when it's time to actually eat lunch at work, you're basically subjecting yourself to lack of control over the food choices that you make. And then you're going to have friends that probably say, come on, girl, let's go get something to eat, or come on, let's go to lunch. And so you basically are actually handing over your decision making. Number 3, don't bring junk into the house. You are setting yourself up for a major setback when you do this. It's not that you shouldn't have it at all, but how many times does someone bring in a cake or you bring in a pie, and when you buy it, I'm going to buy it for the family. We're going to all have it. And I bet you half of the people in the house, or most of them, don't even eat it, and it's probably something that you really enjoy. And when everybody's in bed, that cake that you bought is calling your name, or that pie, and instead of having a slice, you eat more than you need to. And so the suggestion is that if you don't bring junk into the house and you go out for it, you don't bring it back into the house with you in order to sabotage you. You take it, you eat it while you're out, or you buy just enough for it to be gone when it's over, and you're satisfied and you're done. Number 4, if it's not that healthy, only ration enough for just yourself. Okay, so in other words, when you put, like, let's just say, for example, you learned, you were dealing with issues with your cholesterol, okay? And so cheese and different things like that's not necessarily great when you're trying to get your cholesterol under control, but you really love it. Well, you don't have to go, and when you decide to do it, that you dump a bunch on there. What you do is you just put a couple of little sprinkles, because you won't feel like you're missing out on anything. You'll feel like, wow, I didn't have to deny myself of that.